is this meaty, juicy testimonial that I was going to sing from the rooftops. There are 3 top tips I'm going to give you right now in this video to basically solve that and how you can actually implement it. Really easy, regardless of what industry, business you're in. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to another episode of McCall Media TV, whereby in this episode, myself, Angela McCall, is going to be talking to you about the topic of testimonials and how you as a small business owner can basically help sort of guide your clients into leaving really fabulous testimonials that are powerful, that you can shout from the rooftops about your company and basically plaster all over social media. So have you ever done some work for a client where you've really gone that extra mile to help them out of a sticky situation and they've given you the whole, yeah, I'll give you a fabulous testimonial, and then you've got that little cha-ching and your email's arrived and you look at it and it's just, Angela was fabulous, I definitely recommend her, and you're just thinking, oh, where is this, fabulous testimonial that I was going to use everywhere to help lift up my services and update my site, etc. Well, that's because the people you're talking to aren't necessarily salespeople, marketers, advertisers. They're not in the industry, they're just general everyday folk, and you've helped them out of a sticky situation and they don't know how to write a testimonial. So the reason you've got a bad one is because you haven't taught them, trained them, geared them or steered them into basically giving a good one for you. But don't worry, I've got your back. In this video I'm going to show you how to just basically do that. So I'm going to talk to you about the 3 different sections of a testimonial so that you can train your clients so that they understand and you obviously end up with something that's really good. They actually get something out of it as well, because obviously if you're going to put their name and their business URL, for example, to help endorse you and that testimonial to show it's real credible work that you've done, they're actually going to get exposure as well for their business. So it actually helps. It's like a two-way thing. The more powerful and the more quality that you can get that testimonial, the better it's going to lift you both. Let me just give you a wee bit of a story. 2 months ago, I had a gas leak in my house. Now, I know nothing about gas repairs, gas engineers. I know nothing about what's involved. So I had somebody come round, install a smart meter from a service provider whilst they were doing so to tell me how much, gas I was using so I could understand the money I was spending. They said, look, I'm really sorry, Ange, but I'm going to have to cap your supply because I think you've got a gas leak and this isn't my area of expertise, but you need to get someone out to come and check real urgently. And so someone came around and said, yeah, it needs to be all capped off, you need to get yourself a gas engineer, and away you go. And now this happened to me in February half term, which in the UK is a break of a week in the school term. So of course lots of small businesses were away with their families, so there's me hustling on the phone. It took me an entire day just to find a small business owner in the Milton Keynes area that was available to actually talk to me. And when those that I did speak to were fully booked up for 2 or 3 weeks. It was the middle of winter, it was freezing, I had no hot water. I'm thinking, what am I going to do with my girls? I had a child that was sick as poorly as well, just like a winter cold. And I'm thinking, this is just an absolute nightmare. So imagine my relief when I actually found a company that not only were in the neighbourhood a couple of roads over dealing with somebody else's problem, they said that they could pop around at 6 o'clock that evening, check out what the situation was, give me a quote. And as it turns out, these are the only guys that I got to speak to. So they jiggled their diary around to be able to fit me in real urgently. And within 48 hours, they turned up, they did the work, they brought all the parts and tools that they needed, and away they went. Now, because my job is obviously marketing and helping solopreneurs, I knew how to write a really nice testimonial. So they used a third-party company to help obviously endorse themselves, so that it was a legitimate testimonial, not something that they've made up. And so I jumped through the couple of hoops that they've asked me for, and I gave them a really powerful testimonial. And that testimonial basically followed this 3-part process that I'm going to teach you now. What you need to understand is the people that you are talking to probably have absolutely no clue how to market, advertise, sell. So all they are on is the receiving end of your good service. And as much as they love it, they might not know how to express that. So you need to help them. So the first thing that you need to do is explain to them, just in a small sentence, tell us what the problem was. So let's take my gas leak example. It was half term, I had a gas leak, I had no heating, No, nothing, and I couldn't get hold of any suppliers in the local area because everybody was on holiday and had their phones turned off. So I was up against two challenges. One, the actual problem itself, which was the gas leak, and then the fact that actually if I had got hold of a dozen companies, I wouldn't have been so stressed. But I couldn't get hold of anybody either. So I had a double whammy. So the fact that I spoke to these guys really helped me. So my sentence would go something like, these guys are absolutely amazing. In the middle of winter, a gas leak was found, and I had spent most of the day trying to phone around. These guys not only took my call, which was one of the few people that did, they were polite, they were pleasant, they were very helpful, knowledgeable, they didn't talk jargon, they didn't overwhelm me. They came round really quick and efficiently. They assessed the problem, gave me a quote, went away 48 hours after jiggling their diary. They came back and they fixed the whole problem. I really couldn't recommend these guys any more than I am right now. They are absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend, and I've actually booked them in the future to come round because they also do bathroom refits for my bathroom. And so basically what I've done is I've painted a picture, a story. So I started off with the problem, as in I've painted the scene for those people reading it, because there's going to be chance in this line of industry that other members of the public are going to be sat there with a gas leak and they go, oh, they fixed this problem. This is the problem I have with my life right now. And they fixed this girl Angela's gas leak back in February. You know, thankfully it's only the summer or whatever. It's not quite the same. But if they could do that for her, they can do that for me. And that's what the kind of resonation that you want to people to receive, the familiarity that they can resonate with the person you've already helped. So that the person you're asking for the testimonial from has to be able to turn around to you or turn around in the testimonial and explain very briefly the problem. Gas leak, couldn't reach anyone. Then you need to explain, they ideally need to explain the whole, what it was like working with those guys or with you. So in my sense, you know, that's the comments I was making about them being very friendly, a couple of lovely guys, they didn't speak any jargon, you know, they came round and they were efficient and that kind of thing. So I'm now talking about the experience. So the next thing you need to do is remove fear, or ask your clients to remove fear in their testimonials about what it is like to work with you as a supplier. They were fast, they were efficient, they moved their things around in their diary to make way because they knew I was a single parent with kids at home. One of them was poorly, middle of the winter, and I very much appreciated it. And that's the kind of experience there that you need to sort of endorse, or not endorse, but sort of impress upon your clients, just to say, look, just give us a little bit, you know, what was I, time efficient, good value for money, that kind of thing, the experience of working directly with you. And then you've got the outcome. This is point number 3. So you've got the before, during, and then after. So after, what was the end result? So for example, again with my gas leak, you know, the result was, it was 4 hours of work with the front door kind of opening, closing, but at the end of the day they fixed the entire problem. My gas was up and running by 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, so this whole problem started on a Wednesday morning. You know, the end result is I was able to, you know, turn my heating on and run a hot bath for my daughters. You know, it's as simple as that. It doesn't have to be a big complicated thing, but it is something that you need to be able to say that you've got out through this problem, you've survived, or they've survived and they've excelled the other end. So if you was a website designer and you've asked a client for a testimonial, you know, it could be the before, could be something like, I was a bit overwhelmed, spoke to lots of companies, they were throwing all these ideas, I didn't really know what they were talking about, so I was getting a little bit anxious that I was going to be ending up spending money I didn't need to spend. But then along came Joe Blogs. He was absolutely fantastic. He didn't use complicated words. He led me through the process. He told me what each of the steps were, what my responsibilities were going to be, what his responsibilities, the time frames, that kind of thing. And then of course he delivered this product and I'm up my website and I was like absolutely blown away. It's exactly what I had in mind, even when I didn't really fully conceptualize exactly what I wanted at the beginning. He helped me through that process. And that's the kind of thing. So it's the before, during and after that you need to train your clients into basically giving as a testimonial. And then what you're doing is you're actually getting like a little story, so that when you are publishing this testimonial on your business brochures, on your pamphlets, on your website, on your tool billboard banner, whatever displays at expo stands, on your landing pages, wherever you decide to put this, it could be a video testimonial as well. Wherever you put this, a story really does sort of hone in real quickly, because the people out there, your prospective clients, they want to know that they're going to be safe dealing with you, their money's going to be safe, their experience is going to be safe, and that the end result is that you've taken them from a sticky, awkward, problematic situation and you've given a solution and it's given them this fantastic result. So that's basically how you deliver or request a testimonial. So this is now how I would suggest you go about it, because if you explain that to my nan, you're not going to get very far. So what I would suggest you do, depending on the type of trade and how you work, so for example those gas guys, their probably best bet would have been probably giving like a little postcard with 3 boxes. What was your problem? What was it like working with us? Maybe a point scoring system, you know, where we were time efficient, money efficient, friendly, that kind of thing, those kind of qualities that people want. And then at the bottom, what was the end result? How happy were you with the end result? Or something to that effect. So you've got the before, after, and you're kind of prompting people. And then what you can do is when they've done that, you can obviously take a photo of the card. If you're like a tradesman, that's just as fine, because you can't fake it. You know, you could have someone's name or whatever it is, Doris or whoever, and you can post the card or photo of the card on your social media accounts and that kind of thing. If you're a more business orientated business like mine, you could put a digital form on your website. But what I would also actually try and suggest you guys do, a bit like these guys, is try and use a third-party supplier. So in the case of my gas guys, there's a company in the UK called Checker Professional or Checker Trade. They've got a couple of different variations, and they basically, every single testimonial that is sent in, they verify that it's actually true and endorsed. I've used them in the past as well, but there's also things like Trustpilot, which is absolutely fabulous. They give you a free account in the early stages of your business, and you can grow that account. So just collecting the odd testimonial on there is also good. And the great thing about that is that it's not part of your business, and most members of the public know that. So I've also had on one of my businesses somebody mistake my business for somebody else's, left a really nasty testimonial which was nothing to do with mine, and it was a bit of an effort trying to get it removed from my profile, because I had to prove that they weren't my client and that they've got themselves muddled because the business names were similar. But you know, you've got those kind of hiccups to overcome, but they also give you the tools to basically publicly say this is being challenged because there's been a mistake in companies and it's not for this organisation or whatever. You've also got the ability to collect reviews on Facebook. Now the only thing I would say about that is you can manage those reviews so that you can kind of filter them. Now that is good from your perspective, but people also in the members of the public know it, and so people are a little bit more cautious. And a similar sort of thing with Google Plus. I know you can get especially if you're a geographical based business, that's quite a good tool for you as well, because people will generally go to Google to search for a local supplier. Then you'll pop up on their Google Maps with a little tally of like how people are scoring and rating you. So it's really good to help collect leads. But I just thought I would basically bring these collective thoughts together for you right now. I hope my little journey and my little story about my fabulous gas guys, who I'm just sort of blown away even 2 months on about, they just were fabulous. They really did sort of do me a good solid deal and help me out of a sticky situation. But I basically hope that this kind of tutorial and this kind of before, during and after kind of approach really helps you guys. One last thing is, if you can get someone to do it on camera, you cannot fake a person. Yes, you can fake a photo, you can fake the cards, you can fake reviews a lot of places, but if you can get someone genuinely giving you a 30 seconds, hi, I'm Angela, this is who I am, this is what you did, this was my problem, how you helped me, what the result was, think you're fabulous, da 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 da. It's really powerful as well. I'm going to stop talking now. I think that's enough on this subject, but I hope you really enjoyed it. Please subscribe, stay notified. I have different marketing videos and tips and hints and strategies coming out with you every Monday on my Marketing Mondays. And don't forget, I've got WordPress Wednesdays and Freelancer Fridays happening on my channel, 3 videos a week and lots going on. So do stay tuned and stay notified. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye. Teaser. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Gas leak. I didn't have to worry about buying any parts.